Hi all, it's Lance from JR Jeep. I hope you're all doing well. I know spring is in and about us in many ways and shapes and forms. In my area, neck of the woods, which is in Wisconsin, we are experiencing everything from 80 degrees to good amounts of snowfall and freezing temperatures. Fortunately, it's melting right away, but it's just the time of year. Like we suffer in many areas of the countries, we all deal with different stuff. I'm fortunate that we, in this area, while we do deal with tornadoes and that, not as much as our brethren in the south, and I wish them all the safety that this time of year can afford them, because I know it can be tough. So, today, I have something different to share than talking about Jeeps. Why I love doing that, and I think it's very important. One of the things that also come about this time of year, and for many of us, all year, is the facet of allergies. This is something, I shouldn't say that's near and dear to my heart, but something I've been living with since I've been 4 years old. So, obviously a pretty long time. When I was diagnosed with that at that time, that was an allergist. Funny story. Well, maybe not so funny at the time, but at that time they didn't do the prick skin test like they do now. When we went into the allergist, and my mom was assuring me that I would not get a shot, there came in the nurse with 2 trays, 20 shots apiece, which went up and down each arm. That was not a real fun experience at that age. Now, granted, shots don't bother me pretty much since that point, because what's the point of being bothered by it? But a little traumatic at that time. So anyways, the reason I bring this up is when I was very young, I had to take shots twice a week to control my allergies because I was considered what was called a borderline asthmatic. So it was mostly environmental factors that bothered me quite a bit, and still do to some degree. That being the outdoors, mold, rot, pollens, animal danders, you name it, I pretty much have it. Now there's another end of the spectrum, which is food allergies. I'm fortunate in that I don't seem to have any of those, which is a positive. But many times, especially when I was younger, my parents would find me turning blue at night because I couldn't breathe. And then one of those times was up north when we were fortunate to be at a resort where the person there also suffered from allergies and was kind enough to take me in to their place because they had air conditioning, which resolved the issue, at least at night, until my dad could get an allergy mask and stay in town. So why am I going into all this? Well, the last number of years, it goes in cycles it seems, but it got better as I got older, and I didn't take shots pretty much after 22 years of age. But at that point, I was taking allergy medicine. In the past, if you were not aware of that, in the 80s and that, there were still steroidal allergy medicines out there that were over the counter. Probably not the best thing. While they did work, they could cause pretty massive mood swings. Something that we learned about later. And I have taken, of course, those have been long off the plate. As I went back to allergists later on in life, they prescribed Allegra because I work and I don't want to be drowsy, and Allegra 180s is what I generally take daily, which you can get over the counter and work pretty good. They generally support that. And in the early 90s, I had nasal surgery because I was all clogged up. That I do and don't recommend. It has changed somewhat too. There's different avenues out there for support. All I can say is when they tell you don't blow your nose for a week, don't. As it feels like you blew off the front of your head when it happens. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit serious and graphic here. But what this is all coming back to, this year especially, I've been running into issues where I had a bad cold, a flu, COVID again, all since like Thanksgiving. And every time this cropped up, I was getting a lot of nasal drainage, being clogged in the head, coughing big time. And what I found also, even after this was getting over, I was getting over it, was the facet of I felt like I was just really clogged up in my lungs, and I felt also like my head was just clogged up constantly. And I had been reading up on some of the avenues out there for more natural supports, and there's some that are advertised on Instagram, Facebook, what have you. I decided to take a look at those a little further, the ingredients in it, and I did find one on Amazon. Now, when I bring this up, in no way am I a paid endorser for this company. I'm not recommending it other from the basis I've used it on. That seems to help. And the big thing that's helped with is, number one, I don't feel nearly as congested, and I can tell that because I'm not waking up in the morning, and not to be graphic, but blowing out lots of stuff or coughing up lots of stuff for the first hour of the day. That's not happening anymore. I'm not feeling that. But the other thing this medication seems to help with is also it's a probiotic. So not only lung support, but digestive support. So it's helped twofold. And in the short time I've taken it, which has been a month, I've seen drastic improvement over what I was experiencing prior. And one of the things that even reiterated that just recently, I had to have a medical procedure, which involved me, of course, before going into the procedure, being off medication for a couple days. Well, it didn't affect me dramatically. I could tell I was getting congested in that again. As soon as I went back on this, bango, in a day I was feeling really good again. And things which you may take as a novel thing, but I like to sing, just to myself. And I wasn't singing so much because I would feel like I was going to cough all the time. And even that, I feel good about. So what is this? And again, this is just something I've used that helps me. I've seen other YouTubers put it out there for stuff like AG1, which I've tried. Nothing against it. From a digestive standpoint, this has helped me a lot better. Also from the lung standpoint, it's helped me a ton better. So the product I'm talking about is called ResB. It's a lung support probiotic that has lung health, digestion, and immune support. This item I actually got through Amazon, and I didn't do the subscribe. There's a subscribe option because I wanted to try it out first and see what I thought. I probably will subscribe to this, just simply as good as I'm feeling about things. I'm still taking the Allegra 180 as a backup to this, but even without that, I feel so much less congested, stronger lung power, can breathe deeper. I've been exercising again, which has been a big benefit because before I could even hear myself wheezing. Not a good thing. So, for what it's worth, I'm just sharing this. I will put a link in down below if you are interested in checking it out yourself. If you suffer from the same things I have, you might find this a benefit. Like I said, you don't have to do a subscription. Of course, if you have any other medical issues, please check with your medical provider first before taking anything that you're not sure will affect you. I don't see any issues of what's in this as additives that would cause the issue, but I'm not a medical doctor, like I said, so go with your medical doctor, don't go by what I say. My only reason for bringing this up is what it helped me with, and you can take that for whatever it's worth. So I thank you for tuning in. Again, this is a different thing that I would normally talk about, and I do appreciate you as always viewing and stopping by. And sooner or later, today is 40s and massive thunderstorms, I'll be able to get outside again to do some of my installs. So until then, folks, have a great day. Again, thank you for stopping by. If you like this, please give a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to build up to 500 subscribers this year. That's one of my goals. And it has been increasing on a fairly regular basis, but I would definitely welcome your support. So take care. Bye-bye.